Hello, good evening, and welcome to Sports Ultras right here on TFM 92.7. And it's a good time to actually come on now because Otuado has just concluded his press match conference. Usually that we see before matches, and this time is before the game against Germany, the friendly match that takes place on Monday. This comes on the back of the 5-1 loss against Austria on Friday. So it's a lot to talk about, a lot to look forward to, and we'll be starting off with that. In studio with me are Bilishan and Akosi J. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
I know it's been a tough it's been a tough weekend trying to understand what happened.
We drank goose. Just like our coach uses a spoon for fufu and soup.
So the goose, do you use spoon or fork to drink it?
The goose,
Yeah.
The goose, I opened my mouth. And it just came straight.
Well, 5 goals against Austria. I mean, what exactly? Otado says that is not a true reflection of the game. And it's because of the penalty, the handball that shouldn't have happened, and they made a mistake for the second goal, and they had a couple of penalty shouts themselves. And after the third goal, the team stopped playing, which he thinks that they have to correct. Do you agree? Was it a much closer game than the scoreline suggested?
The plenty explanation is not important. Maybe if there's an agreement, it would only be in the first half, where Ghana were a bit more promising in the first half. Of course, there was a penalty shout for Prince Kwabena, which I felt that it was very legitimate, but the referee for some reason did not take that. But apart from that, in the second half, Ghana were run ragged by Austria. Austria looked so comfortable on the ball. They were just carving Ghana's defenses open so easily, and that is extra concerning because Otuado is seen to be a very defensive coach. So if you cannot organize your defense properly to be able to withstand the pressure, then this is what will happen. So Otto, I don't get why he thinks it should have been closer, because it didn't look anywhere close, especially in the second half. Ghana were dominating left and right. Sibo, I don't understand why. I don't know why Otto gave him the instruction to come and be at the center and form a back three, because usually very good technicians in midfield are given that task to execute. Thomas Partey, when he was at Arsenal, we see Rodri sometimes do it. So Mendy on some occasions does it, right? We see technicians actually do these things. Sibo is not one. He's only a destroyer. He can't give good forward passes. So why would you put him in a position to fail? And it looks like Thomas Partey his legs are going, if it's not gone already. But it looks like it's going, unfortunately. And the sad thing is, at the age he's at, we don't seem to have a proper replacement for him. Granted, he's someone who is a very difficult profile to find, but we don't seem to have a proper replacement. And it's just sad because we are getting to the same old problems from after 2017, where we've struggled to replace key outgoings. And we would see that come to bear. From the videos I've watched of Germany's last game, it could be a bloodbath again.
Well, Germany themselves, they beat Switzerland by 4-3.
Yeah.
Akosia, what were your reactions after the Austria game? Was it blown out of proportion, or is it justified, the outrage?
I don't think it was blown out of proportion. It was justified, because to lose 5-1, there are times where you go into certain games and you would think that even if you are losing a game, it should be a 2-1, a 2-0. But to go as far as a 5-1 and the rate at which the goals were coming in, the outrage has just been on the same level as the defeats that the Stars suffered. Because if you're calling in players and we are preparing for a World Cup, and this is a European counterpart will be playing. This is a European team, and so in our team we know that we have Croatia. So if we're playing against them, it almost have to be likened to how we set up against a European side in the World Cup. Granted, we have Kudus, who is injured. Most likely, he will be in our starting 11 at the World Cup. But if we don't have one player available, or two, or even three, that shouldn't also take a lot away from the team. But if we had a certain pattern we were playing to, and I'm glad today the coach addressed it, and he has said that he doesn't have a certain pattern he plays to. He plays to the pattern of the opponent he's going to be playing. So in this game, the only question we have to be asking ourselves is, how do we set up to play against European sides? Do we set up to find ourselves always chasing shadows and being defeated? Because if you look at the number of friendlies that we have played under him, which are almost like 10 or 12, and the fact that the ones we have won, we've won against Nicaragua, and we've won against Trinidad and Tobago. We've lost 4-0 against the United States of America.
Yeah, lost to Mexico.
We've lost to Mexico. We've lost to Japan. All these countries that we've lost against are the ones we're going to go into the World Cup. Nicaragua are not in the World Cup. So even if we've won against them in a friendly, it counts to nothing. So if we fail to set up the team to give us a resemblance of what to expect, I think when we're playing in these games, that's what we're trying to do. We are test driving for when we are ready for the main thing. And it wasn't that. It wasn't that. The only takeaway from it was maybe the forward.
Prince
Edu. Yes,
yeah,
he was promising, he was good. But maybe we need to tell him a little bit of what it means to play in Africa, even though he wasn't playing an African opponent. The African game is even more stronger. You need a lot of strength. You don't need to be falling at every little touch. And if he's able to, you don't have to fall before even a referee will give you a foul or a penalty would. If the action means that he has to, then he would. That's the only promising thing I got from the game. Unfortunately for Antoine Semenyo, once again, I don't know.
Well, we'll get to the Semenyo issue, but let's listen to Otoado on the playing style that he's adopted, and this is something that he just said a few minutes ago at the press conference in Stuttgart.
Be silent, but the
and so I'm trying to get that audio on Otoado pretty shortly, but Bill, let's come back on his thoughts before we actually hear that. There's been a lot of divided opinion on it. Obviously, as a coach, you want to play differently to the opponents that you are facing. Like for instance, if no matter how good Chelsea are against Wolves, they have to understand that when they're playing against Barcelona, they would have to adapt maybe to their high line and all of that. Is there a communication issue, or generally do you think Otto doesn't have a style of play?
It might be a communication issue. It also, but to be fair, I remember him saying a similar thing back in Mali in 2024 or so. I think before they faced Mali, he said something similar. So it sort of looks like it's something that he's decided that he will do. But I find a problem with it because, yes, you mentioned that if Chelsea is playing Wolves, they'll play as differently as Chelsea plays Barcelona, which is very fair because the opponents are different. But also, there's that understanding that Chelsea would have an identity and they would follow that identity and make just some subtle tweaks to counteract their opponents. But it's sort of giving me, from the communication, it's giving me the sense that he doesn't have a particular identity. He will just switch regarding the opponents. We saw him play a 4-3-3 against Chad back in Accra when they defeated Chad by 5-0. And the personnel and it seems the instructions were totally different from the Black Stars playing against the Mali, for example, where he went with a back three because maybe Mali he deemed were stronger opponents, right? I feel he will probably go with a back three because it's Germany, because they are strong and all of that. But for a coach, you need to have your identity. And I feel that is affecting. See, even if he comes to tell you it's a communication issue, where I'll see I don't believe him is he's called too many players with too many different profiles for you to say that he actually has an identity. It sort of seems like he doesn't. Because if you have an identity, you know the pool of players that you stick to and call. You have a core and all of that. But he seems to be chopping and changing so many times with regards to his call-ups that it gives the sense that he actually does not have an identity. And so we are reaching very damning levels. If that is the approach that he is taking to the World Cup, then I am sorry. England are coming in with their identity. Croatia will have theirs. Panama will have theirs. They would destroy you. So that means that, again, that also means that you are going to adjust every time to what Panama will put up. Meaning you are afraid of them already from the start. So you try and see what Panama does, and you try to counteract. You see what Croatia does, and that means you're afraid of them. You don't have your own principles. And for someone with the sort of experience that he has, you would believe that he should have his own principles and should be sticking by it. But hey, it sort of looks like then that means every single game looks like an experiment basically, and that is not good for a team like the Black Stars. We are not experimenting here. We want results, and we want to see an identity that we can identify with and say that yes, this is how our coach plays, this is how our team plays, and this is how we win games. It's that simple.
I could say, what do you think?
What do I think about
the whole fufu analogy? Eating fufu differently, eating rice and stew differently.
I believe for every team, there has to be that thing that you know that you are good at, that thing that easily identifies you. On Friday, after the Ghana game, we were watching the Spain game for a bit. And there was one thing everybody was saying, how they pass the ball and how they are able to find those tiny spaces and work with it. Everybody knows that if you watch a Spain game, these are the things you're going to see. And when you look at as Bill was saying, when you look at the profile of the players, you would say, okay, these are the strengths these players bring in. This is how we play. And with the strengths they bring in, they are able to play to that. When we look at our players once again, when you talk about our wingers, when you talk about it, it's almost as if, this player here is doing very well, let's call them. This player there is doing very well, let's call them. But when they come in, are we able, and I'm sure from everything that the coach has said, because he also mentioned that the players are coming from different backgrounds, they're coming from different teams, so they have different training mentality and everything. Because when they come into play for Ghana, what is that education like? What is that period of orientation like for them to understand that? And I'm sure all of them know that when it comes to national team, there's a different way you have to play.
Yeah.
So what is that orientation like for the players, so that the Antoine Semenyo from Bristol, from Bournemouth, from Man City, at least we're getting a 30% of what he's able to give, especially when he was at Bournemouth. I mean, we didn't see too much of him at Bristol, but we saw a lot of him at Bournemouth and Man City. We are able to get that. And we also very much know that we don't always get all players being able to give off the same performance level they have at their team, at their national team. Sometimes it's very few, like even for players like Andre, very few of them, like Jan, Suleiman Tari, even Michael Essien. We did not get the full potential of Michael Essien in Ghana. But every time that we got, even if it was a 40%, we were happy with it. For a player like Kuja Samwa, it was the same thing. Well, like when he's at Juventus, this is not how they play him. But whenever he came in, they played him at the position that they were playing. He understood what he had to do. So how are we orienting them? And this is where I thought Otuadu would be able to do more. Because when he was at Dortmund, he was an integration coach. He was the one who was talking to the likes of Haaland. He was talking to Adeyemi. He's the one who talks to them on how to adapt to how the team plays. So that should have been something that would be easier for the boys to align, and we don't always have to rely on individual brilliance, because when we are even relying on individual brilliance, and unfortunately we put our players per the pecking order of others, we will just pick maybe 2 of our players who are very good, and the others will not be on the same level as the others. And so we need that team to work. It's unfortunate that we would still be playing now and say we do not have that identity, or we do not have those 2 things or 3 things we can say that this is how we play and this is how all our players have to adapt to it. It's just unfortunate that we will get to a point like that. Because when we had, once again, I mean, it's not always fair that we have to go to, when we had Lai Kensid and this, we knew that we had a strong midfield. And even when our attackers are not getting the goals, we knew that our midfielders will be able to come in when the need comes. And so it's just unfortunate that for a senior national team that is going to the 2026 World Cup, as of now, do not have a certain identity they play to.
I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say on Otto's comment. You know, we're here. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah, about 2 years ago, I think, when we were called by the FA and the ministry that we were going to launch a certain Ghana football DNA that would outline Ghana's football philosophy. We went for the launch. In fact, the book was shared around online. I was privileged to get that. I've read the document and all of that. But till date, I still haven't seen any attempt to go towards that quote-unquote agro ball that we described in our philosophy, where we wanted to, you know, when you speak to the people who wrote the book, the men behind the book, the whole idea was basically, what I got from the launch was that we want to dominate. That was a very key word, dominate. Agro ball is based on dominating. You want to put the ball down and dictate play. And think about it. That's actually the foundation of Ghana's football success. Our period, especially in the modern era. If you're looking from the early 2000s up until maybe 2014, 2015, everything was based on quick interplay, putting the ball down, technicians who had the ball. And, you know, it's the reason why if you're looking from 2006 to like 2014, Ghana really never had any crazy wingers. It was just auxiliary people there. Dramani, maybe Lai Kense will come, Adia will be tried there, Prince Tego will be tried there. Everything was about Ghana's midfield. Sometimes it was even a diamond where you have Andrea Yu, Kojo Asamoah, Kevin Prince Boateng all playing a bit wide, but in midfield it was more like a diamond. But at that point, you could tell that because you've had 2 Serbian coaches, 2006 transitioning into 2010, there was a certain way Ghana wanted to play. Ghana always, if you like, you can go and watch our World Cup games. Ghana would always put the ball down and want to, even against Brazil. If you watch, I rewatched that match again last year, and you'll be impressed. Ghana were always willing to put the ball down, play centrally, and try and play through their opponent. And then there was also the aspect of having a striker like Asamoah, who was very strong, that you could always go to him quickly. And if you isolate him against a defender, he can always cause trouble. And so there were some patterns of play. And you see, this didn't come by mistake. A lot of the key members of these players came from our youth teams. Our youth teams in under 17, under 20, those times Ghana was playing under 20 World Cup, under 17 World Cup. Go check our history, 1990 to 2000s. We're appearing there and actually winning medals and competing with the very best. And you see, these seeds germinated in the 2000s. And we saw that when we brought a coach with an identity, knew what he wanted to do. So when you put these two things together, we had a successful period. So I'm asking myself, if this is the purpose of history, Otto says that every window he has to go and call new set of players. The question is, why? Why are we not putting emphasis on our youth teams like we did the last time when we had success? Essien, Derek Boateng, Stephen Appiah, I can mention names, Asamoah, all of these guys came through our youth team. In fact, the last attempt that we had at trying to develop our youth team, the under 20 squad that went to win the AFCON in Mauritania, Today he produced Fatawu Isaku. To some extent, the lad. You could even go beyond that. If maybe their career choices might have caused, but you could clearly see that this is the template. When was the last time Ghana's under 23 played a friendly?
Wow,
Instead of trying to convince these young guys automatically come to the senior team, Ransford Konigsdorfer at a young age, call him to under 23. Let him start learning what it means to play for Ghana. Let it translate. Under 16, they even brought under 15. They've hired plenty coaches, but what is the style? What is the point of breaking down so many national teams if you're not teaching them one way to play to finally get to the national team? Yeah. Ghana doesn't know what to do in football matches. Ghana has no clue. We don't know how we want to play, even from under 15 up until now. And so what is happening is that you will bring Inaki Williams with Ernesto Valverde's understanding of football. Semenyo will come with Iraole's understanding of football. Kudus will come with whoever is his coach. Now, he doesn't even have a coach. But whoever was his coach, he will come with this understanding of football. And the 2-3 days, nothing really happens. And they all just go and play how they've been playing with their clubs. But here's the case. If you're looking like teams, like let's say someone like Spain. Spain have a clear philosophy. No matter the coach you bring from Spain, they play the same way from their youth team support. So when you are coming, when they are picking you, they know that you must be comfortable in possession. You must play with your head up. You must be able to play through the lines. A team like France, maybe they might not have an equally apparent style of play from their youth level. However, you can still see that even through their youth teams, and because they know they don't have that, they've stuck to one coach for the longest time. And so each international break, Deschamps is treating it like a final. And that's the reason why he couldn't even let go of guys like Kante and Matuidi, because they understood what it meant to play for the French team. And there's the reason why Kante is still playing for the national team, so that someone like Kone can learn from him when he finally retires. What, Otuado, you've been here for 2 stints. 2 stints. You're approaching 4 or 5 years now. Who can you clearly say that embodies my style of play? That on the pitch can tell the players that no, this is how we are supposed to do it. We are running out of time, and that's what we don't seem to understand. I made a tweet about Senegal, Ivory Coast, Morocco. Look at all of these guys. They're just using the template Ghana used years ago. They're just focusing on their. You see, you do your youth football, nice. You have your clear style of play. You stick to one type of coach. You call one type of players. Occasionally you bring in a dual national who you think would augment the team. He comes in, he settles in nicely. Even Morocco, sometimes they'll take you to under 23. The fact that you've come doesn't mean automatically you go to national team. And these teams have taken a page out of our book and they're using it, and we don't even know what we're doing under 20, under 17, under 17. Everybody's just there.
Our youth teams, if you don't do what way you go for tournaments, that's the end.
Because
look, team, where are they?
I don't understand. How can someone like Augustin Boache, how has he not played a youth team before? How? You know what's going to happen? Eventually, in 2-3 years, another coach will come and then bring him to national team. For Sinamankwa.
Kamadi never played for the youth.
Look, you can mention a long list of players. Right now, Jerry Free is not part of the national team. But he should be playing under 23s. He should be playing friendly games. It doesn't mean he should be out of touch with the national team. The fact that you think he's not competitive enough to play doesn't mean that you have to completely remove him from the team. This is your under 20 kid that was tearing you, Otuado. You ran to hack the boy when he scored against Niger. Today, okay, fine, maybe he's more competitive than other players, but you don't just forget about these talents. These are the people who understand what it means to play for Ghana. I can go on longer. Look, Bonsuba, all of these guys should have been with youth teams, and there's Nyoma, they should have been playing under 23 and all of that, to understand what it means to play for Ghana, so that when they finally get to the national team, they will see that, hey, my brains and Medua. And even their cry doesn't mean you automatically start. Now there you start, 19-year-old straight to national team undroppable. Are you serious? Are you serious? And is that entitlement? That lack of style, the entitlement, lack of passion. Appear them, go and ask them. Oh, Kenson bought 1994. Go and ask when he became number 1. And you think when he becomes number one, he would just let go easily. Nowadays, you play 1-2, then they'll just call you 19-year-old. You become undisputed starter in Black Stars.
Yeah.
So you're on top of the world. We have fallen off. And it's time everybody acknowledges this. You see, I'm sorry, but categorically cannot be saying that we're not going to walk up as underdogs. And we should go and top a group. Brother, 2014, when you had your best World Cup squad ever, Krankuyi. 2022, when your squad was even better, Ankoyi. And now, it is now. Now that we could even qualify for AFCON, automatically, we are better. And we are not going as underdogs. And interestingly, after that, Austria gave us 5, just to remind us of where we are. Because you see, if you don't even understand that you've fallen off, how do you even take steps to get back up?
Charlie,
if you give me a chance, I'll talk for 30 minutes. I don't.
Charlie Ragni say, even if it's a different coach, the result would not have been different. You try to say what's
no, but you can pick up different lessons from everything and what we do. Because I also remember that during Otto's first presser, where somebody asked that we just brought out the Ghana football DNA, and what does he understand by that? And you could clearly hear from what he was saying that maybe he wasn't even privy to that particular book or whatever that came out at that time. But if other people have done it the right way, I mean, it's all exciting if you get big names like Inaki Williams who want to come and play for Ghana. It was very exciting to hear the news that these players want to now come and play for us. But if we have tried some of them for some time now, we don't have to lose track of the fact that we also have players who play in the national team at the youth side who also understand how we have to play. Case in point, Andrea Ayew. I think that's why sometimes, a lot of the time, we always want to go back to him to say that, well, he understands what it means to play. Exactly, when he plays, we know what he can do and all. But if we are overlooking the work that they do at the youth side, and they do a lot of work, these youth coaches, but they don't even have enough competitions to be playing in, which means that we as a country have to organize lots of friendlies for them, so that even if the Olympics is not coming up, which means that the U23 team do not have any tournament, they have something to be playing. The under-17s, for instance, I think the last time they excited us the most was when Lai Kingston was in charge of the team. Yeah. And I know that some of them are in the under-20 team now. Yeah. But what are they? They are going to go for their tournaments very soon. From there, what will we do with them? What will we be doing with these players? And it's very, very important, because for the past 5 years, the youth teams that have performed well, for whether it's Ivory Coast, whether it's Senegal, they are the same people we're seeing play now. Lamine Camara from under 17, under 20. Before, there was a time where every other tournament he was almost always there, because he will win best player, and definitely he will get a call up into the other teams. And even if he doesn't get a call up into the senior national team, there was always a reason that they would give. There will be his time. And when you see them now, you know that, okay, but when it comes to Gambia, Namibia, they are all doing the same thing. I'm not saying they are competing on the same level as us, but we don't have to lose track of the talent that we also have who can perform so well at the youth team level, to understand what it means to play. Because we say it all the time that the youth level, it shouldn't be about the trophies we are winning. It should also be about how we are learning to play, how we're gelling, what we need to learn about being Ghanaian and how to play as Ghanaian, if I have to put it that way.
Because you see, the truth is, by now, some 21-year-old should be given pressure to some of these guys, 25, 26, 27, in the national team.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we don't have that. So that's why we would always go out and go and look for somebody in Europe somewhere.
Who's begged.
Yeah, and we start begging him that Charlie, come and join us. Come and join us. Because those under, they are all cooked. We are not.
You know what made me realize that Ghana is not clear on what philosophy of football they want to play?
Which one?
Can you recall our last 3 coaching appointments?
Yeah.
Oh, in the Black Stars?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, Otto.
Before Otto was
Milo.
Before Otto, there was Milo, there was Chris.
Okay, so let's take it there.
Yeah.
Otto, Milo, Chris.
Yeah.
Can you find any commonalities?
Nah, they're not similar coaches in any way. Nah.
So Otto, Chris, Milo.
Nah.
Nothing common.
Nah. Chris ultra defensive. Otto, he doesn't have an identity. Milo, one goal project.
Even that one crossed like 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
So you ask yourself, if you have a philosophy that you want your team to play by, why are you appointing coaches that
they don't seem to match it?
And you see that's what doesn't even give me the confidence that Charlie, if we change coach today, things will turn around. It won't. Ghana has been here before, similar place, and they brought Milovan Rajevic, that he's going to be the savior again, second coming.
Yeah.
It didn't work. They brought Chris Hughton. Everyone said that, Chris is too defensive, blah, blah, blah. It didn't work. Otto, I said you want coach with 15 years experience. Everybody said he's too young. He's too inexperienced for this.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're seeing it now.
Yeah. That is why you eat fufu differently, soup differently, and then rice differently. Charlie, he's acting like he wants to act like chameleon, but he can't even do the job of the chameleon well. That's sad. That's sad. See, this Germany game, we might take 6.
But would you rather we win in
6.
these games and go and lose at the World Cup, or lose in these games and play better games?
Do you think we'll learn anything from this?
Yeah, what are we learning?
Not to concede 5 goals.
Because technically these are the last 2 key friendlies before the final squad is released.
Yeah.
And Otto has scored so many players that's now, although he would have some players that of course he would definitely have to call, he still has to make decisions on key positions and all of that, like right back where he says as for new options near day, and some other positions that he would have to fill. So I mean, if they are scoring you there, you might panic and then now go and search for another player that you think that, I think he's going to show up the defense this way, or this guy will show up this way and that. That is why Monaco 2 will come out and tease that with Salisu picture. It's all parts.
Say he's getting his paycheck. I'm sure he saw the notification. Ghana 1, Austria 5. He said, Jesus.
But I mean, some people are saying they want Otto gone, which I understand. Unfortunately, he's not going anywhere. We have to deal with him till after the World Cup. That is where maybe a key decision can be made. But it's not looking good, Brev. I mean, it's not. It's definitely not. It can get so much worse. It can get. I'm afraid at this point, Charlie. If I look at it, I'm so afraid.
I watched on Sunday. I watched bits of the South Africa versus Panama game.
Oh yeah.
And just to say,
football.
South Africa are a very good team.
Football.
I mean,
gosh.
Look, if I'm to say one of the countries that I'm most proud of on the African continent, I'm sure everyone will say Ivory Coast, Morocco, and all of that. But I would like to say South Africa, and I would like to tell everyone that Ghana at a point had a chance to appoint Hugo Bruce.
Yeah, we said no. True.
Very controversial and blunt guy, but he knows his job.
Yeah.
Look, this guy has had South Africa playing in one way for the past 7-8 years. And you know what helps? Sundowns, the team that usually contributes most of the players to their national team in this same period, have been the most successful. And coincidentally, they play the same way at the club level. So this is exactly what I was saying. They have made the job of the coach easier because you're having 7-8 players who know how to put the ball down and play, and that's what I want to do. So when it comes to everything, just see the ball they played against Panama, it was just unlucky finishing and really good goalkeeping, to be honest, from the Panama goalkeeper. Yeah. But it's just a friendly. No, who cares about whether you win or not? At the end of the day, Panama ranked 30th. South Africa is below them.
Yeah.
But what I saw, passing, movement, hey, we are so far. Like, we are very, very, there's cohesion. Like 1-2 touch. Like, see, I would urge everyone, if you've not seen snippets of the game. Just try it. You just go and watch highlights or something. Maybe it might not give you the full story, but you will see tight spaces. Charlie, see,
form triangles, no,
and even this, the best football crown couldn't distort the Panama is back 5-0.
Their defense.
Back 5 standard, and the midfield 3 enters, so it becomes like 8, a block of 8, and they leave like one guy up front, one behind. And then they had like 2 chances, they scored 1. They are not coming here to talk about beautiful football. No. They are Panama. Come on, they are underdogs.
And that's how their clubs even play. So if you watch the CONCACAF championship, you'd see that that's how they play. Defensively, they always have 5 players at the back. No matter what you do, whether they are losing or not, they will keep they will try as much as possible to keep a number of their players at the back. And I'd say, if South Africa plays all this beautiful game, and they are shooting, and they are playing beautifully, as we're all saying, maybe you don't need an identity to win against Panama. If
see the people whose identity was good for low blocks,
because it is good for low blocks,
they can bring. See, their third man release, everything was working though. They were really distorting their defense. I won't lie, because
you don't need
let me just look through. They had 64% possession.
Yeah.
They played 12 shots. Out of the 12 shots, 5 of them were on target. 5 big chances. Ghana hasn't created a big chance in 3 games. South Africa created 5, but they scored 1. It was just really good goalkeeping, I won't lie, because if you are looking at their expected goals, it was almost 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so, and they limited Panama to just 2 shots on target. 0 big chances, but they scored. That's how dangerous they are. They don't need plenty. Just 36% possession, and that's enough.
But actually, a colleague journalist told me that Panama coach is a very dangerous coach.
Abiyoto knows him.
He knows how to defend like crazy, and he's very efficient when it comes to getting his players up the pitch to counter attack. So Otto has to beware. Already, we also a chameleon. So deal with a team that can defend better than you. Let's see.
And this will be very difficult for us, because now we have to play to the tune of Panama. Then we have to play to the tune of England. Then we have to play to the tune of Croatia. Since we do not, I mean, maybe because we don't have an identity, the other people will not be
don't
able
even know.
to
I can imagine how difficult it will be being an opponent scout of another country, and your task is to scout Ghana. Today Otto is playing 3-5-2. Tomorrow is 3-4-3. Yesterday was Friday was 4-4-2. Otto is telling me that he played a 4-4-2 with the number 10 as Jordan at a point. The whole country now Jordanese are number 10. At what point in Jordan's career?
Has he ever played as a number?
What experiment is this? I don't understand. Like what experiment is this, man?
Test driving.
Right now, Jordan is number 10.
And then Sibo is deep line playmaker. Charlie, some of the things I saw in the game, man, I was like, like they don't understand, because like honestly, it's all like, when you augment your technical team and bring more, like more assistants, it should be better.
No, but to be fair, even if you bring assistants, the decision rests on the head coach, unless the head coach sees some responsibility. So like maybe Arteta says that, set pieces is for just you, I will not interfere. Maybe attacking coach, you are the guy who sets my attack is for
high
me.
Performance. That's your job.
Because like,
Charlie,
you want to see intelligent solutions, right? Because like, if Pep didn't have a left back and Fabian Delft or Zinchenko or O'Reilly, you rather play him there as he's a central midfielder, he's left back, but in possession he comes into midfield. Why can't you try something? You see, if you try something like that, it makes sense. And even if it doesn't work, it still makes sense that Caleb is a central midfielder. So instead of in possession, you can let him invert, and then he stays in his comfortable position. We try and keep the ball for as much as possible. Outside possession, he drops into the right back slot. At least you get the benefits of his in possession skills. If you try something like that, you can explain it. But when you are letting the guy,
he defended more in the game.
Jordan
was dropping so deep.
See, there was a point where number 10 was like, even someone who was playing left back. And you know, people are saying, Austria are good. But me, on the balance of things, I think Austria at a very similar level to Croatia. In fact, if Austria meets Croatia in the tournament, Croatia will find a way of knocking them out.
Yeah, fair.
Croatia are the ultimate tournament team. See, even go and ask Morocco, Morocco, they know you are better than them, but they will find a way of scoring you when it matters. That's how Croatia play. Against Colombia, they should have lost that match, right? Hands down, but they found a way to win. And you see, it's all about the mental fortitude. Then again, their coach, I forgot his name.
Zlatko Dalic.
Yes, Zlatko Dalic. He's been around for the longest time. Longest time, and it's
14.
It's the same principles I'm talking about. Same guys kept the same core. They know how to play. So now I'm sure when they even come for international break, the coach has even talked plenty. He says everybody will move to the same direction.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Me honestly, I think that's it. The way national team football is, you have to make sure that your other auxiliaries, like, they are so good that when it comes to the camping, in fact, this was like the only time I've seen the team camp for like four days before a game. They came very early. Sunday, they were already in camp. They even did some small training. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then game on Friday. But still, we didn't see anything because it's too late. There's nothing I'm going to do in 4 days that is going to miraculously. And you see, this is where I'll have an unpopular opinion, but maybe, I think you see how Otto used Fufu analogy. Me too, I'm coming to use FIFA analogy, the game. Honestly, I don't think we're learning a lot from these high-profile friendlies. There was a time where we could beat these teams and challenge them fair. 10, 15 years ago, we could go to... In fact, 4 years ago, we could go toe-to-toe with Switzerland. But you see, what's happening now is that we are not good enough. And we need to admit it that right now we're not good enough. We are not good enough in FIFA. You don't jump straight to go and play legendary. What happened to you? Your motivation will go down. You keep losing, sir. And you're not really learning, when I'm on the ball, how do I do attack and hurt my opponents? Because you're not even getting the ball. Against Austria, we couldn't even attack. We didn't create a big chance. And it's the same problem from Japan, South Korea. So this is what I'm proposing. Maybe it's too late for that because we already set our friendlies. Against Germany, I suspect same thing. We won't have a lot of the ball. We won't learn a lot. But you see, the purpose of friendlies is that what's the point in camping when Prince Edu Kwabena is getting 7 touches of the ball in a game? When Semenyo is getting 10 touches, you're not able to implement the attacking patterns that you are learning in training for them to see. You're not even, since Prince Edu started playing for the Blasters, you've not created one big chance for him. And so you've not even seen how he converts under pressure. These are the things that you need to see from your attackers. You need to be seeing these automations, and to see that you need to play against weaker opponents. That is why we should be playing Trinidad and Tobago. We beat them 4-0. You saw very good attacking play. So you see, you start from Trinidad and they're ranked 1 something. It's too easy. Okay, let's come to 105 or 100 or 90. Then it becomes progressive. That's what I think we should do with our friendlies, to be honest. We need to be playing games where Ghana would have at least 60% possession of the ball and start to really build some, because the team lacks cohesion. And it's not against Germany you're going to find cohesion. If you go up and down, there's nothing that they can do in training today that will let them dominate the ball against Germany. Ghana are not going to dominate the ball. They're not going to create more than 2 chances in that game. It will just be defense versus attack, unless all we want to do is train defense from now to the World Cup. But we need to play friendly games where we are seeing that the team is actually having the ball and attacking and creating scenarios and learning from that. Because I don't know, Austria, what did you learn? Be honest, what did you learn? What did you learn? What did you see that you're like, oh, okay, this winger, maybe Semenyo goes well with Kun. There's some telepathy there on that left side. They're able to, this guy comes in, this guy goes wide. Caleb and Fatao work. You're not seeing anything. Ghana didn't even play a sequence of 3-4 passes, attacking. Nothing. It was just at some point in that first half, we were just passing at the ball, nice. But it wasn't really anything in attack. Nothing really substantial. So, I know you've already set your friendlies. So maybe after the World Cup, I don't know what happened between now and then. Maybe we magically improve. And if we don't, please, let's go and look for some Estonia. Some San Marino. Then Austria gives San Marino 10-0. It's not because they are bad, but Charlie, imagine 10-0, then San Marino will score 4. all of a sudden his confidence will start coming. That's how you build belief. That's how you build confidence. You have to go to attack behind. Someone is not going to get a hat trick against Germany. I'm sorry. So please take my advice. It's too late, but take it.
Florian Wirtz will feast.
Hope Ghana's only hope is that the coach won't take the match personal and that he'll give the second string like Undav. But Nagelsmann, he's wicked.
Yeah, Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann. No, so be sure 7-8.
Because I'm sure he's very angry from the Switzerland game.
Oh, yeah,
see,
Switzerland
created like just 2-3 chances. They scored everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't come back. Havertz missed some 2 1-on-1 chances. See, on another day, that match could have been like 7-3. So we just have to hope that he will give the second string Pascal grows and things.
Some 2-0 then
we just take it and come back home.
Yeah.
We say we are proud.
We are proud of the performance.
We are proud of the performance. Another useless window where we learned nothing. What do you learn from Japan, South Korea?
We learned something from Mexico.
Mexico. Did you watch him against Portugal? Ha!
Charlie, Drew.
Charlie, these teams are not cheap. They will beat you. See, even Mexico when we faced them like 3 years ago, before the last World Cup or something like that.
Under Chris Hughton.
USA
and Mexico.
We went to shock 4-0 and 2-0, I think. Yeah, we're not that level. We're not. See, Mexico went head to head with Portugal. And you see, that's their level now. Those are the teams that they're looking to beat now. I'm sure that the Ghana match card will give us Team B.
Team B no crown because you have more Team D.
You are not good. I come to give Team D. Oh, Black Stars. Augustia, what are your predictions for Monday? I think at this point you just have to pray for that the worst doesn't happen. Yeah. I think some 2-0, 3-1.
It won't be bad. We'll take it.
I mean, I don't think the results even matter at this point. If we are able to see how our players.
See, that's the thing. But we're not even seeing that, and we are losing.
If we see our players play a bit, because I remember 2006 Ghana versus Brazil.
Oh.
Going into the game, everybody knew we were going to lose. Even when we were down by 2 goals already, we were still happy when we were able to play some 4 passes.
Yeah.
Those things meant so much to us because we watching play and we didn't see.
We were creating chances.
Like yes. So I don't think the results will matter. We should just see an improved Antoine Semenyo in a Ghana Black Stars jersey, a defensive setup of Jiku and his boys that could possibly work. Whoever will be in goal post, I would hope that
who should be in goal?
I think, Coach Otuado, anytime he addressed the situation of the goalkeeper, said for now, Benjamin Asare is our number 1. He kept on saying that, and every time he had that clause, for now, Benjamin Asare is our number 1. So I don't know if at this moment he's still our number 1. So
if he doesn't start, then there's a problem. There's a whole new conversation. Right? It means that he has got a whole window.
So if indeed he's our number 1, this is an important game, and we would definitely want to see him against a European side, because if there's one thing that Benjamin Asare has been getting slack off a lot from the fans is that, can you imagine Antoine Semenyo versus a European? Can you imagine Benjamin Asare versus a European side? They'll score him like 20. He won't be able to save. If he does this, he will tear an ACL. If he does this, he will break his back. I mean, it's been a lot. So he needs that competition if he is still our number 1 in this moment. And as I said, Otuado usually says, for now. So at this point, I don't know who is the number 1. If it is Benjamin Asare still, he should be in the goalpost against Germany. And I would hope that they are able to also talk to Ziggy, for Ziggy to understand that maybe we're just not using you as a sacrificial lamb in all of this, because it would be very hurtful that he was there for the 5-1. He was there during the Carring Cup in one game for the defeat, and then again against Germany. I think it's a very high-profile game that every goalkeeper would want to be in there to make some saves and all. But whoever is our number 1, according to the technical team members, should be in the goalpost for the Germany game.
But what was your prediction for that one?
We suck some at least 2. and will not score some. But what I want to see is Senaya starting at right back. Otto, we beg you. The UNC at right back, no. It's not helping. So you put a natural one there. Let's see what the natural one can do at the start. At least let's see that. And Otto, we beg. There's a boy you want to use him as deep line playmaker, we beg. He's not that. You let him play his destroyer role. And left to me, let Otto try the 3 midfield with UNC, Sibo, and Partey. Or if he wants to change inside, put Sibo down and then put Ibrahim Sulemana in there and see how that works too. See what 3 midfield combinations of these guys do. And this one maybe captain can sit it out small and then just watch. You see Semenyo, Fatau Isahako, and then Prince Edu should maintain his place as the number 9, and then let's see how the combinations work. And of course Asari should be back in goal. We need to test him as well, because I mean, if we don't test him, we'll start saying that Ziggy is number 1 again, which is also going to bring a lot more talk and a lot more trouble, especially with what we've seen in the past year. So yeah, but I hope that the Black Stars produce a more respectable performance and take just 2 and come house.
All right. And so I heard from Bilishan and Akosia J. My name is Obere Gampofo, and this was a Black Stars edition of Sports Ultras here on 3FM 92.7. Remember that we'll be bringing you live commentary of the game between Ghana and Germany tomorrow. That's Monday, March 30. And so you do want to tune in, and let's see what Otto and the boys have for us.